Hi guys, Stephen Daniel Kakmak here from McConnell Vaughan, back for our second video and second stage of our signature negotiation process, and that's actually submitting offers.
Yeah, so we've gotten the situation right, we've gotten the story, we've decided this is the home for us, and there's a chance to either buy it in a pre-auction negotiation or buy the home for sale. So what we wanted to talk about now is the first offer or the opening offer, which buyers often make.
Now that can usually be dictated based on a couple of things. Now it's usually based on either the original price guide or range that the agent has quoted, or if there's been any amendments in that price feedback, or if they've had any other offers which have affected the price guide.
Yeah, so that should give us a bit of a handle. Now, based on that response, what we find is that buyers typically come in with their first offer as being substantially lower than expectations, either at the bare bones minimum of the anticipated price range or even well below that.
Sometimes it can even insult the owners.
Yeah, so look, and I think we all know, I think the buyers know, the owners know, and the agents know that that first offer is usually just the start of the negotiation process. Look, we get that. We're not telling you to put in your best foot forward off the bat. We understand. But as Steve said, you want to be very mindful of where that first offer comes in, because if you go so low to the point of insulting the agent or the owner, this negotiation is not going to go smoothly, and the vendor or the owner will dig their heels in just out of spite, okay? So if you did want to come in with an opening offer, the figure itself has to be, somewhat reasonable, but what you're really looking for here is a knee-jerk reaction. Now, the good agents, the good negotiators, irrespective of where that first offer comes in, they will try to get an understanding of that offer, why you put it in, why you were thinking that price, what are your terms and conditions, and more importantly, they're going to try to get you up off the bat. Okay, like move your offer up. If they do that, if they do all these things, chances are you're dealing with a pretty strong negotiator. However, if they're an order taker and they say, okay, look, I appreciate your offer, I'll go and submit it to the vendor, chances are they're either not as skilled a negotiator, or you're actually closer, your offer is actually closer to the firing line of the owner's acceptance price, okay? So this is what you're looking for. Based on the response that you get from the agent, this will give you a bit of an understanding of which direction this negotiation is going to be heading. Okay?
Normally it's going to go one of a few ways. Now it's either going to end favourable to you and your offer is going to be considered and accepted to be sold either prior to auction or through that private treaty negotiation. Either the agent's going to come back and say it's too low and you're going to try and work to somewhere in the middle. Just be mindful of the length of this negotiation. Yep. You don't want to drag it out for too long, because you risk other buyers also coming in and the agent using your interest as leverage against other buyers as well.
Yeah, exactly. So look, it's always good to ask where the interest levels are so you can get a bit more of a handle. We always like to think that agents are being very honest and forthcoming with their information, but just on the off chance that they're not, stick to your research, particularly if the agent comes back from the vendor and gives you some sort of a counter offer as to what the owner would love to accept. Chances are that there may even be a little bit of wiggle room there, but reference that counter offer with your own research and recent sales, okay? Make sure that it's not too far apart. Now look, if it's a few $1,000s and it's not going to stretch you financially for the sake of securing the dream home, don't play God with it. But also in saying that, if it's so far out of whack, your best option may be to just cool off or explore other options.
And if you can't come to some sort of an agreement on price and the agent turns around and says, look, thank you for your interest and offer, but the owner has decided that they will be going to auction, don't always expect that that's because your offer is not acceptable. It might be that the agent has since generated enough interest to actually go towards auction. You'd hope that's not the case, given that they've actually told you that they would consider an offer prior to auction. But if that is the case,
it means basically they feel they can replicate your offer on the floor or even get a little bit more, okay?
And look, if that is the case and they are tracking along to auction, we want to talk about what our tips for bidding at auction and how we can best strategize into getting sure that you secure that property at auction. Tune in for our next video.
Thanks and all the best.